The self-rated mental acuity meter for Joe Biden is off the charts into pretty damn good territory.
My mental acuity's been pretty damn good.
Welcome back to the Disturbing Illusion channel. Sit back, relax, and try not to let all the circus mayhem drive you crazy.
Drive me crazy. Don't let the sound of your own egos drive you crazy.
We've likened Democrats and Republicans to followers of Jim Jones, Charles Manson, and even David Koresh. And a lot of people are questioning this photo right here, surmising that, no, this is Photoshop. There's no way people are acting this cult-like. It's just that there's some video out there that disagrees with that. What the frick? People are serious about this. Now, in case you questioned if Secret Service ever gets stand-down orders, just consider this video right here.
Directly in front of the president, and the wife of the governor of Texas is sitting in front of Mrs. Kennedy. The Secret Service are following the car out. They're standing on the running board of the follow-up car, and as is their custom.
Leave your thoughts in the comments section, but I want to know what you think about what order was actually given to this Secret Service agent where he abandoned his post on the side of JFK's motorcade. And in case you missed it, this is Trump's first public address after the shooting.
Obviously, how did that happen? But I got lucky. God was with me, I tell you.
A lot of God language. God was with me. This is God's man of the hour. God's hand is on Donald Trump. He is God's chosen for this present hour. A lot of God language.
That's what they call a close call. That was an amazing, horrible thing, amazing thing, and in many ways it changes your attitude, your viewpoint on life. And I think, honestly, I think you appreciate God even more, really, because something happened. Not that it was pleasant. It wasn't like it was a complete miss, but it was pretty terrible that can happen, and it happens too often. We have things going on, just crime in our country is so bad, and things are going on with our country. We're going to fix it. We're going to make it. Yes. We're going to bring it back.
Now, a lot of people are questioning what exactly happened to Trump's ear. And we have a brand new leaked photo that may lend some insight into the situation. And don't you dare question it. And one of the most bizarre things this week is the founder of the LA Slut Walk and sex-positive pro-choice soft porn star Amber Rose, that's her on RuPaul's Drag Race, spoke at the RNC the other night. And it has Van Jones and CNN very concerned. Here's the very end of her speech and their commentary.
As Trump would say, it's a vote to make America great again. Thank you so much.
I mean, it's fascinating to have her as a speaker there. I think she has some 20-odd million Instagram followers.
23 million Instagram followers. So I just have to say, the stagecraft, the sequencing of this whole moment tonight, this is what Donald Trump does best. He's the producer-in-chief.
Stagecraft. You don't say. Their words, not mine. Isn't that what we're talking about anytime you have an election cycle? Anytime you have a committee or a convention, whether it's the DNC or the RNC, isn't that what it is? Isn't it stagecraft? Don't they spellbound the masses with their words as they get together this adult high school pep rally? Isn't that what it's all about?
Him walking out, Lee Greenwood playing, And then first you're hearing from an everyday American talking, but then a social media influencer with 23 million followers who young people are looking at, and young voters are up for grabs this election.
Now, how do you feel about this? They view you as voters who are up for grabs. They split you off into demographics. Oh, we got to go for the black vote. We got to go for the Hispanic vote, the female vote, the male vote. We got to reach out through social media influencers so we can corral the young people. What are they trying to get you to do? They want you to consent to the chains of your own oppression. They want you to demoralize yourself. The powers that shouldn't be don't care who you vote for. They want you to get out there and participate in their game and consent to the politics and the sewage spewed by political parasites.
Throw in there also, Donald Trump is now a meme everywhere. You know, best not miss if you're going to shoot the king. Like, this is what is on TikTok. This is what tens of millions of young voters who are not necessarily decided, they don't have longstanding party affiliation, are seeing. He's making a play there. It's very smart. And to be honest, she was one of the most effective communicators we've seen tonight.
And what's interesting about this is that conservatives who stick to their principles, who stick to their conservative roots, who stay with their rigid in their ideology, like Matt Walsh is like, why do we have a softcore porn star who's pro-choice up on a conservative stage? Do we have any kind of conservative scruples or values at all? So there are people who are objecting to this, but guess what? They'll fall in line and they'll go for it because we got to get Trump in there at all costs. That's the battle cry.
Yeah.
And this is how whacked out and immoral this whole thing is.
I'll admit something. I had no idea who this was. So I looked it up, and then I called a friend of mine and I said, do you know who this is? And they didn't know. Also a political person. But that's the point. They have put someone on the stage who reaches into this whole group of Americans who are not necessarily engaged at all in our politics or in our civics.
Does it bother you at all that they're strategizing against you? Every political campaign manager is trying to come up with a marketing strategy to wear down your resistance.
These kinds of voices, I heard some grousing about this from some of the conservative. This is how you change the composition of the electorate.
Yeah, that was probably the most dangerous speak for the Democratic coalition. That is a young woman of color. She's describing the experience a lot of people have, feeling that maybe if you're around too many liberals, you might get criticized too much, or you might not be able to speak your mind. And she spoke to it really well. And she's way more famous than any of us up here. Yeah. I'm going to tell you that, way more famous. And so to the extent that these guys are trying to bust up our coalition, that was a bunker buster right there.
That was a bunker buster right there. Hey, let's reach out to these social media influencers who have a large audience of young people, tens of millions of people, so that we can sway them with our stagecraft.
And it's one of the things we've been talking about, but there are speakers who speak to the room, and there are speakers who speak through the television screen. She speaks through the camera to the audience at home, she's effective in the room, but when you're yelling into the room, that is not communicating directly through the lens.
This person is super talented. Mm-hmm. Okay, like this person knows how to speak plainly and directly, knows how to use the camera, the cadence of it. They got something there.
Yeah, and it really is hard. In those big arenas, it's hard not to want to fill up the room. You want to scream and make sure the grandma in the back can hear you.
They're not even hiding this. This is their strategy. This is their campaign. This is the psychological operations. These are the social engineers who are formulating this plan to get you into their fold. That's how important it is. Because you have got to be a willing participant in this corrupt political process, and that's what you become when you become a voter. So they spend tens of millions, hundreds of millions, billions of dollars to get you to demoralize and dehumanize yourself. Do you not see it yet?
But you're not talking to the 30,000 people there. You're talking to the 30 million people at home. And she was the most effective. You can be heard in the hall, but you're in somebody's living room. She understood that. And I would not be surprised if she doesn't have a political future.
Yeah, you can tell that she's somebody who makes a living
Yes.
communicating with people on the screen, right? She understood how to connect with the camera. That's what she does. It's part of why she has 23 million Instagram followers.
Yep, because she and they are going to try to sway and influence the rest of us into coming over to the Republican Party. And then when the DNC, ramps up, they're going to try to sway us to get us into the Democrat Party. They'll say anything, including lie. They don't care that Amber Rose is pro-choice. They don't care that she's a porn star. Oh, I thought it mattered to you. God, guns, family. How is getting somebody who's pro-choice that you're absolutely against, how is that sticking by your principles, conservative? Man, we got to widen out the tent, man. You don't understand. So you don't care about diluting your conservative principles by inviting those people with you? It's the same thing with the liberals. They'll do anything to win, which means they don't have morals. They don't have principles they go by. They don't have a moral compass like you do. This is what happens with politics. It degrades and erodes the principles and morals of regular people. Those who can make you believe in absurdities can make you commit atrocities. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, like this video, share this video. If you want to support the channel further, grab a hard-hitting shirt, become a channel member, but more importantly, understand that you are a human being and nobody has the right to control you. I will see you in the next video.